Hello everyone, and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Shimakaze, at tier 10 Japanese destroyer. I'm on map Northern Waters and it's an arms race battle. Everybody here is tier 10, there is a sub, there is a Stalingrad for Raider, and there are only 2 destroyers. Now, I've gotten the safe buff for us right now. I could have tried to leave that to my team, but they didn't seem inclined to sail into it, so I just waited until I got it. And now it looks like the enemy buff is still up for grabs. I am within a Stalingrad Raider, but Stalingrad Raider range isn't that long these days, so I feel rather confident of surviving that while I'm carefully trying to approach this buff. If I could grab that, that would be amazing, but my RPF is pointing this way, and yes, there's a clip bear coming. So I'm gonna immediately turn around. A clip bear is fast if it just pushes straight into me. Well, I said turn immediately around, I really should have. I got the... When I saw the clip bear turn a little bit, for a moment I was thinking maybe it would let me have it, but it won't. Now I need to turn around and disengage. My smoke is ready though, so I can't disappear if I want to. The Stalingrad is reversing, by the way, so I think it's still a little bit in radar range, yeah, but probably not for much longer. Now the reason I'm not smoking up is simply because I wait for the clip bear to shoot, and then I'm gonna smoke up, and hopefully the clip bear stays detected, but this hope is quashed pretty quickly. Speaking of hope, our gearing is unfortunately staying very far away from the buffs there on the other side, as is our sub. The enemy sub, I think, took the center buff, and ours didn't try. The sad part is submarines are the best ships to collect buffs in this game mode, because unlike a cap zone, right, taking a buff is basically instantaneous. It takes like a second or so. So as a sub, you can go into a buff perfectly safe. A sub, you can go into the buff submerged. You're perfectly safe. You just surface, grab the buff, and immediately you can dive it. So there isn't really much risk involved. And even if you take a little bit of damage in this game mode with like the heals as a sub, you'll even recover that. So yeah, if subs ever figure out how strong they are in this game mode, well, times will change. But most submarines are, you know, they're still working on pressing buttons. Anyway. Meanwhile, speaking of pressing buttons, the clip bear has stopped pressing anything. It looks like it might be disconnected. I'm not sure. Or... well, whatever. I've got some torps going towards it. I could stay here and keep it detected. But if it's actually AFK, then I'm just gonna torp it, and I have more important things to do, like grab some buffs, right? The enemy has more than we do, so I need to try to get some to catch up. The friendly gearing is staying away from buffs very far. Our submarine isn't going after buffs, so that basically just leaves me try and get some. My team here is also staying very passive, and on the other side we actually have some aggression going on, but it's a bit weird because that Marseille and gearing are so far in the back, and while that Schlieffen and Montana are pushing so hard. Anyway, I did get a torpedo hit into something, that's nice, and oh, I got the clip bear. I mean, okay, it was probably disconnected. Let's be generous and assume that there was a technical problem and it didn't just rage quit. But anyway, it's one less clip bear, which is good news for us. We are one ship ahead, and you know, aside from the buffs, it's not looking too bad. Now once again, I have a Stalingrad that could raider me. So far that Stalingrad has been very hesitant at using its raider for whatever reason. I mean, to be fair, right, if that Stalingrad keeps shooting, it's gonna be detected, and it isn't aware that there's a shimmer so close. So maybe it really has no indication of knowing where I am. Now I'm gonna launch some fishes towards the Yamato. I don't have a great angle, but it looks like the Yamato is gonna stay behind this island, so maybe get the torp or two. Would be pretty nice. If the Stalingrad is actually keep sailing that way, maybe I can even torp the Stalingrad, although it doesn't make much sense for the Stalingrad to keep sailing just like that, I suppose. We will see. Now, oh, our gearing might actually get a buff. Nice, nice. So somebody other than me just got a buff. Rejoice! Our one flank is blobbing there a little bit in the back. And our other flank had, well, the aggressive ships got taken out. And I'm finally raided by the Stalingrad. But there's no reason to panic. Don't seem to be many ships shooting me. The Stalingrad is gonna take a fish or two. While it's distracted shooting me, hopefully it's not paying attention to the troops. As I said, right, the raider doesn't last that long, so I'll just keep going towards that buff. And you know, I'm gonna grab another heal, so I'll recover the damage that I take there even faster. So this worked quite nicely. Gonna get another heal, and I hear some submarine pings. Of course, there is our submarine here very close, so this might just be our sub. Or maybe not. Anyway, I got another set of troops towards that Stalingrad. If I could take that out, that would take care of the enemy raider. Now our sub is down and the enemy sub's somewhere over there. Now I can't go after that sub, obviously, because there are enemy ships too close. Not that I had a way of finding it anyway. Now my troops are looking good at the Stalingrad. That's gonna be nice, because no longer do I have to worry about Raider. Jinan doesn't even have Hydra. I mean, it would have to be really close for Hydra anyway. But it's good to know that the enemy is lacking ways to detect me. Well, I say that, but there is a sub. And, you know, I was hoping for a moment the gearing would actually grab that buff. You know, it could have easily gone in there and then smoked up inside the objective, but it decided not to. So I'm gonna grab it. It's fine, I'm close by. And gonna try to drop this Jinan. It's smoking up currently. Would be nice if it ate some fishes in there. Meanwhile, we've entirely lost one flank, kinda. But don't worry, the other flank is still blobbing at the same location it did for the past 10 minutes. Hey, at least they are gonna grab one of the buffs, right? So, we see a sub ping. Now, part of me is considering charging that sub. First, we'll probably top that smoke screen some more. My biggest concern here would be if that sub spots me for the Jinan. Now, the Jinan in itself isn't gonna be that big of a problem, but it doesn't really have the tools to detect me. But if the sub spots me and the Jinan shoots me, that could hurt. Now, I still have a smoke ready, so I probably could disengage. And I'm sending more fishes towards the Jinan, hoping that I can catch it off guard. Also, we're doing a good job of taking that cap. If we could get the objective, I would feel very good. And unfortunately, the Jinan is leaving and coming towards us. It looks like the Jinan is actually trying to stop us camping. Unfortunately, the Jinan might be fully aware just how powerful the center cap is, right? It creates points like crazy. Now I'm dropping some depth charges because I haven't seen a sub ping in a bit, and I don't know where the sub is, so might as well, I guess. Just in the hopes that we can catch it. Now we got down to 5.7 seconds, but that Jinan is just stopping us from camping. I mean, technically the sub could have also surfaced somewhere in here, but I doubt it. Now, our team is fully capable of shooting this Jinan in theory. And there are some shells going towards it, and ooh, nice hit. Nice hit. Unfortunately, it's still around. If we just could get rid of this cruiser, that would be so lovely. Meanwhile, I think the gearing is trying to go sub hunting. There are depth charges being dropped there. I think the gearing is dropping some depth charges. If they could get the sub, that would be pretty good news. Ship-wise, it's not looking so good anymore, which is why I'm just hoping I can grab the objective and then win on points. There is a buff spawning that I can easily take. Unfortunately, there is a heal that... Well, I mean, we already have the maximum amount of heals. The enemy doesn't. I presume the enemy Napoli will get that. Now here it's a bit risky. I mean, the Jinan has no reason to leave the smoke at this side. It was last seen turning away. But if it would spot me here, or that cap progress would be gone. One of the reasons I didn't shoot the Jinan earlier was, well, one, I wanted to keep up the spotting. So I didn't want to smoke and shoot. And open water gunboating would have cost me all of those juicy points that I think we're gonna need. So I do have my own smoke ready to disappear, but losing all those cap points would hurt a lot. I'm just hoping I can spot the Jinan and then make it run away. Smoke is starting to disappear here, so we'll see how that goes. Thankfully, the enemy team isn't that interested in fighting for the objective either, except for that Jinan. Oh, and there is a Slava coming in. Like, let's be honest, if it weren't for this one Jinan, we might have already won this game. So, fortunately, it's finally forced to run away, so its smoke is now on cooldown, and it looks like it doesn't want to take the risk of sitting here, especially since our ships are finally moving close. Well, some of our ships. Not our battleships, but the Puerto Rico is now getting closer. And by the way, the sub has been taken out there earlier. That's also good news, because if that was still around and would spot me here in the center, all of my plans would crumble as well. Now, we do have the center, and as you can see, we are just running away here on points. Now, the Slava might have realized that and is trying to push in to stop it. The good news is, I'm a Shimakaze, and as a battleship pushing in like this might just result into a very fishy experience. Not just yet, but I'm sneaking around here to get broadside hopes into the Slava, assuming it's not just turning around. But see, there are two sort of win conditions here for me. One is the Slava eats fish, the other is it leaves the camp, because this is all about the points. Speaking of points, there is a reload buff I can grab. We still don't have the maximum of those, so why not? We'll make our remaining ships just a little bit stronger. And once again, I do have my smoke screen ready. There doesn't seem anything too close. The Slava is turning away, so I feel confident here. So I could have always gone like here towards my left, right? If that Slava would have turned towards me, if I would have been forced to flee, there is like a large open area here where I could have disengaged, gone around the island, and then re-entered the camp if needed. But it doesn't look like it's needed right now. The Slava has been dealt with. And see, we are technically one ship behind, but just look at our points, right? This center area is so incredibly powerful. Meanwhile, while one Jinan is leaving, another Jinan is actually approaching and might be coming in here, so I need to turn my ship around and possibly flee. Got some fishes still going towards the Napoli. If they connect, that would be rare, very nice. And I'll just try to keep an eye out on all the enemy ships, because, you know, that Jinan is getting really, really close. Once again, my smoke is ready if needed, and I got the Napoli. Nice. Okay, so far I had very little success with torping those nations in this game. But hey, I torped some other stuff. Now the enemy blocked our points gain at 990. It's a shame. We are still one ship behind. But you know, there is only 3 minutes remaining. It takes a while to cap this. By now, if I just sail into A10, we win. But other than sailing into A10, I could just sail into like this buff, right? A buff gives you 20 points and takes away 20 points from the enemy. So if I take this buff, we basically win. Well, assuming we don't lose a ship in between or the enemy takes a buff. But basically, the reason I'm no longer contesting A is I can now sail in there, grab that buff and win. And if that's not enough because we lose a ship in between, I just sail away and enjoy this well-earned victory. Of course, if I were to torp that nation inside its smoke, I wouldn't be unhappy either. I could even like slow down in front of the buff and wait if my torps hit. So, what's it gonna be? Oh, our team killed it. So, turns out the enemy cruiser fell to some blind fire in its smoke, so no Kraken for me, which is a shame. But still a rather successful battle. And I feel like it just showed a very interesting arms race game. It was very close. We were equal on ships even when it ended, and we just took the center, and that made us win. The center is so very important in this game mode, and so many people ignore it. I mean, so many people also ignore the buffs, unfortunately. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this arms race game, and I'll see you next time.